Okay, so this is step one. So my son was diagnosed with Coats 3 days after he was born. We had to go home and really digest everything for about a week as we wait for all the appointments and next step to take place. So now is our first official appointment following our initial diagnosis. But even that, they did some scan, they did some testing, but further testing is needed. An MRI and also an exam under anesthesia is also needed to 100% confirm that he does not have a tumor. And they also want to rule out that his other eye is okay as well. It should be, but you never know. Getting Coats in itself is already a 1 in 100,000 chance of getting it, but here we are. So now we are on this journey, and it's been a long, painful week for us as new parents again, thinking that we're gonna go on paternity leave and just enjoy the newborn stage. Unfortunately, that lasted roughly 48 hours before we were hit with the brutal news on April Fool's Day. And yeah, it kind of broke my heart. I know when he went home and slept that night, my partner woke up and she had a dream that it was an April Fool's joke. That would have been nice, but we pretty much have reached the acceptance stage. During the first few days, it was really rough. We go in waves just in terms of how we're feeling, the anxiety, the stress. As a parent, it's really hard. I'm pretty sure as he grows up, he's just gonna be used to just having one right eye as his dominant eye, and that's just gonna be his norm. He will never get that full two eyes experience, but I don't know, I guess from his standpoint, maybe he's not really losing much because he never really had it to begin with. But it just really hurts us as parents to see that he can't fully live up to his 100% full potential. But even with Coats, doing all the research, we think that he can still live a normal life, and ideally eventually we're going to get to that point. But now we just got to take it one day at a time. So step one is to come in and have a prep appointment before the exam under anesthesia. So we drove into Boston, which took another hour. I wish they could have done this appointment virtually instead of having to drive an hour each way, pay $11 for parking, dragging the baby back and forth. It's a lot, but I guess I can see why they wanted us to come in person, even though most of it is talking with the nurse, prepping for the exam that is coming up. So essentially, there was a prep appointment with the nurse, and I also met with the anesthesiologist as well. So I had to sign his life away, basically agreeing to move forward with the procedure and acknowledging the risk. And I know typically they wouldn't want to perform anesthesia with kids if they're under 6 months old, but in this case this is pretty urgent, and we definitely want to tackle it as soon as possible. So that's the path we're going forward. And so we met with the anesthesia. Some of the risks she highlighted is just newborn, they don't really know how to regulate their breathing. So while my son goes under, they're gonna put a breathing tube down his throat. It's a plastic tube. Just understanding all that risk, like, I mean, at this point it should be okay, but you never know. Throat might get a little sore, his voice gonna sound different for a day or two. So little things like that we have to be aware of, and they want us to be aware of. So I met with the anesthesiologist, and then I met with the nurse. We basically just talked about the game plan on Monday. So this prep meeting was on Wednesday, Actually, initially the exam was going to be on Thursday, but we got bumped back into Monday. Maybe something more urgent happened. Who knows? But either way, the MRI is scheduled for Friday, so my little guy has so many appointments in his short little life. But we're here, we're prepping for the exam, so we have to stop feeding him milk 4 hours before our appointment time on Monday. And then 2 hours before, we can give him some glucose water. They did give us a little tube thing for that. And yeah, and then also the anesthesia, going through the exam is only going to last 30 minutes. But they do want to keep us overnight just because he is so young. And they want to monitor his breathing at the hospital. If anything is needed, they can just pump in more oxygen. But it's still mentally exhausting just having to go to the hospital every single time. Even if it's like a 30-minute meeting or a 30-minute procedure. Everything leading up to it, before and after. Packing the baby, packing the house, finding parking, walking from the parking lot to there and back, go back, find a car. Everything takes time and effort. But yeah, at least we are excited to finally begin step 1 so that we can really understand what the official diagnosis is. On day 1, when I met with the doctor, he is pretty sure it's going to be Coates based on his exam and all the pictures that he's seen, because if he thought there were any indication that it was a tumor, then they would have treated us then and there and not let us go home. So we're glad and grateful that we had the chance to at least go home, enjoy the early days with the newborn and bonding with his older brother. I'm glad that his older brother is doing a pretty good job of adjusting to him, so we're glad to see that. It's one less thing to worry about. Having a newborn is already stressful enough as is, and adding these extra health issues on top does not make it any easier. Between the weight check and the blood check, they want to double check if he has jaundice. It's a lot. Even driving back and forth for a quick appointment can easily take half a day. And yeah, so we had a couple days when we were appointment free, and we just able to at least relax and enjoy those days. So yeah, the prep appointment came and went pretty straightforward. But now just gotta go home. And another part of having to go to all these appointments and meetings is we have to arrange childcare for my oldest son as well too. We don't want to bring him to the hospital and make him sit there the whole day. It's gonna be rough. So we coordinated with grandma to have her take over. So glad we have her as well, but it's a lot for everybody just to go through all the news. And yeah, even for my son, he's just always been at home. Like, we never had to send him away until we gave birth, but now it looks like it might be happening more often with all the treatment and all the tests coming up. But hopefully all goes well. But yeah, so that is step 1, to go to the prep appointment, and I'll keep you guys updated with this journey. I know there's not a lot of information on this topic because it's a rare disease. We did so much research and finding Facebook groups, hearing people's stories. So I want to share my story as well, just in case if you guys ever want to know more, don't hesitate to reach out. But I'm just documenting this for my journey and for my son as well, just so he can watch this video later on in life. Both of my kids know that I'm there for both of you guys, and we'll make it through this, through all the tough times.